Perfectionism doesn't make life better. It actually makes it harder. Have you ever felt like no matter how much effort you put into something, it's never going to be good enough? That's the trap of perfectionism. I'm Beth. I'm a recovering perfectionist and certified mindfulness meditation teacher. I've been right where you are. I'm breaking down 3 ways that perfectionism is stealing your joy, and more importantly, how you can get it back. Let's just jump right in. Here is number 1 for how you are letting perfectionism steal your joy. You are putting yourself down instead of enjoying the moment. Perfectionism has this sneaky way of making sure that you are always your worst critic. Instead of celebrating what you've accomplished, you zero in on what you think went wrong or what could have gone better. You set impossibly high standards for yourself, and when you don't meet them, you spiral into self-doubt and harsh criticism. Here's an example. You host a dinner party or any kind of party, and you spend the entire evening apologizing for the food not being perfect instead of enjoying the time with your guests. Or maybe you didn't have time to cook as much as you wanted to this week, so you had to order carry out for some of the food, and you didn't get to make everything you wanted to do. When you focus on perfection, you rob yourself of the joy and the satisfaction of what you've actually achieved. You put in a lot of work throwing that party. So recognize that, celebrate that. Enjoying your party is how you take your power back from feel of failure with perfectionism. And it can be that first step to breaking free from the perfectionism cycle. Number 2, for how perfectionism is stealing your joy. You can't accept or enjoy compliments. Instead of taking a compliment at face value, you dismiss it, or you diminish it, or you feel like the compliment deserves an explanation. It's like your perfectionism convinces you that you don't deserve praise unless you've achieved that perfect moment. So let's say someone tells you that they love your sweater. And instead of saying thank you, you respond with, "Oh my gosh, I've had this for so long. I'm so lucky that the trend came back in style." Or maybe you don't know how to accept that compliment, so you find a way to compliment them back to take the attention off of yourself. I know I've done that. I bet you have too. Or maybe someone says that you did a good job on a presentation at work, and you immediately point out the typo in one of your slides just to make sure that you acknowledged you knew that you made that mistake. You want them to know that you made the mistake, instead of just saying, "Oh, thanks, I appreciate hearing that." Not only does this stop you from fully enjoying the moment yourself, but it also makes the person giving the compliment feel like they're dismissed. Allow yourself to accept kindness. A simple thank you can go a long way. Last one I want to mention today, number 3, is that you over-apologize and make excuses, creating unnecessary comparison. Perfectionism can creep into the way that you communicate with others, especially when you apologize or make excuses where they aren't even needed. Instead of showing up with confidence, you actually end up putting yourself down, and sometimes unintentionally, you bring others into this comparison trap. So really, you're only meaning to compare yourself, or you're only meaning to put this criticism on yourself, but it also involves others that may be involved. So an example with this is that imagine you are at a bake sale or a cookie swap, and instead of simply participating, you say something like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. My cookies usually turn out much better than this. I don't know what happened this time." Here's what's actually happening in this example. You're putting yourself down in front of others, undermining your own confidence, and you're unintentionally adding a competitive element by implying that your usual is better than what you brought, which could make someone else feel insecure about their own cookies that they brought. So now imagine letting go of that perfectionist mindset in this scenario. Instead, you show up, you hand over your cookies, and you say, "Hey, I made chocolate chip cookies. They have dairy and eggs in them in case anybody needs to know that. Thank you so much for organizing this. I'm happy to participate." No apologies, no excuses, no unnecessary comparison. You just have presence and gratitude. This is the perfect example of how you can use mindfulness to overcome perfectionism. So here's your mindful action for this week. I want you to choose one area in your life where you will let go of being perfect. I'm not saying you have to let go of perfectionism in every part of your life all at once. That would be extremely overwhelming. Just pick one thing to not be perfect on. Focus on progress over perfection and notice how it feels to let go of that pressure, to let it go off of your shoulders. You are not responsible for everything being perfect. Pick one thing to not be perfect this week and just get it done so you can cross it off your list. You will feel so much better. And if you are extremely overwhelmed and super stressed, I do have a short beginner meditation to help you with letting go of some of these perfectionism feelings and these feelings of failure and limiting beliefs. So to make sure to check that video out and save it for later when you might need it the most, when stress is really high at another time. And as always, don't forget to subscribe for more tips on how to overcome perfectionism and to begin living your life again. Stay mindful, take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.